Living Colour are an American rock band who were formed in New York City in 1984. They used the British spelling of colour because Vernon Reid, the guitarist who put the band together, is of British origin. They are known for blending several styles of music together. They've had a fair turnover of members and have released 6 albums so far. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the second album by Living Colour. I'm not sure if it's my first encounter with them. I have heard of them before. I don't know if I've heard any of their music before. And it's a fairly long and complex album. So I would describe this as being, at core, heavy rock with a funk element to it. But it's quite varied. So there are elements of punk, stadium rock. There's parts that verge on metal. There's bits of noise. There's a whole track of Afro pop. And there's bits of jazz thrown in here as well. As I said, it's varied. There's lots of rock guitar at the forefront. There's one of the things that I sometimes notice. There's a great snare sound, a great buckety snare sound that is in a lot of the tracks, and it's inventive musically. I enjoyed it. The singing's pretty good. I feel like I felt in my head there were comparisons in the singing to Lenny Kravitz and to Prince, but lower because Prince had a higher voice. But I feel like maybe what I'm doing here is I'm just equating it with other black rock voices, and there's not a huge number of those around that I know of. There are guest appearances on this album by Queen Latifah, Little Richard, Dougie Fresh, Maceo Parker, and of all people, James Earl Jones, who was the voice of Darth Vader. There are songs about all sorts of things. There's a song about, at least one song about Black history. There's a song about Elvis. Undercover of Darkness is an interesting song because it starts off like a kind of sexy macho seduction song, and I wasn't being hugely impressed with it until Queen Latifah's bit came in, and she gave the other side of that same kind of dynamic between two people, and actually it turns out I think it's a pretty good song as a result. This Is the Life is a good song. It's I guess in some ways predictable in the way that it goes about it, but it starts by so it's a song about making the best of what you have, and it starts by saying in another life things are better, but then it kind of moves on to say, but in another life things are worse, and basically you've got this life, so you've got to make the best of it. Solace of You stands out from the rest stylistically because this is the Afro pop style track, so that's the kind of African style that not the style of the vocal style of people like Ladysmith Black Mambazo, but the other musicians. The really well-known album Graceland by Paul Simon uses several of the tracks have got this kind of Afro pop style behind them. So wrapping up, this is a strong album. I enjoyed it. It kept surprising me as we went through. Firstly, it was longer than I expected, so I kept thinking it was coming to an end, and then there'd be another track, and that kept going. And then each track seemed to be different, so there's quite a lot going on in this album. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'd love to know, as always, what you think of this album, so please do respond through the comments, and that's it for me for now.
We all are fighting the same fight. We all are in the same war. We all are in